வணக்கம். 8th standard English medium science lesson number 18, organization of life, text book back exercises. Choose the best answer. Dash is tough and thick white sheath that protects the inner parts of the eye. Answer: sclera. Sclera is tough and thick white sheath that protects the inner parts of the eye. Dash cells are specialized cells that can be transformed into any kind of cells. Answer: option B, stem. Stem cells are specialized cells that can be transformed into any kind of cells. Third question. Maintenance of constant international environment of the body is known as dash. Answer: option A, homeostasis. Maintenance of constant internal environment of the body is known as homeostasis. Fourth one. In the absence of oxygen, glucose is broken down into dash. Answer: option A, lactic acid. In the absence of oxygen, glucose is broken down into lactic acid. Fifth question. The process of air passing in and out the lungs is called dash. Answer: option C, breathing. The process of air passing in and out the lungs is called breathing. Sixth one. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules from dash. Answer: option B, lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules from lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. Seventh one. The erythrocyte is placed in dash solution which has lesser concentration of solutes and greater concentration of water than in the cytoplasm. Answer: option E, hypotonic. The erythrocyte is placed in hypotonic solution which has lesser concentration of solutes and greater concentration of water than in the cytoplasm. Fill in the blanks. Dash is the structural and functional unit of living organisms. Answer: cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of living organisms. The largest cell is egg of an ostrich. The largest cell is egg of an ostrich. Third one. Dash is a good example for anaerobic respiration. Yeast. Yeast is the good example for anaerobic respiration. Dash nerve is located at the end of the eyes behind the retina. Optic nerve is located at the end of the eyes behind the retina. The size of the cells are measured in units of dash. Answer: micron. The size of the cells are measured in units of micron. Match the following. Column 1 and 2 are given. In column 1, carbohydrates, glucose, protein, amino acids, fatty acids are given. In column 2, answers are shuffled. We have to match it correctly. Carbohydrates, glucose. Carbohydrates, glucose. Glucose, carbon dioxide, water and heat. Protein, amino acid. Protein, amino acid, amino acids, enzymes, hormone, protein. Fatty acids, cholesterol and other steroid. Fatty acids, cholesterol and other steroids. State true or false. If false, correct the statement. In hypotonic condition, concentration of the external and the internal solution of the organism are same. Answer false. The correct statement is in isotonic condition, concentration of the external and the internal solution of the organism are same. Second one, diffusion is the movement of particles from an area of lower concentration to higher concentration. Answer false. The correct statement is osmosis is the movement of particles from an area of lower concentration to higher concentration. Third one, human beings are warm blooded in nature. Answer true. Fourth one, the larynx has fold of tissue which vibrate with the passage of air to produce sound. Answer true. Fifth one, aqueous humor plays an important role in maintaining the shape of the eye. Answer false. The correct statement is vitreous humor plays an important role in maintaining the shape of the eye. Answer very briefly. What is cell differentiation? Answer. Our body is developed from a single cell called zygote. The zygote undergoes continuous mitotic division and forms the fetus consisting multitude of cells of different shape, size and content. Fetal cells gradually attain change in structure and function. This process is known as cell differentiation. State different types of tissues. Depending on the basis of their structure and function, tissues can be classified into four types. First one, epithelial, that is covering tissue for protection. Second one, muscular, contractile tissue for movements and locomotion. Third one, connective, that is supporting tissue for binding different structures of body. Fourth one, nervous tissue for conduction of nerve impulses. Third question, mention the function of alveoli. Answer, alveoli are tiny air sacs in the lungs. They are the workhouses of the respiratory system. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide take place in alveoli of the lungs. Fourth one, name the process by which air enters and comes out of our lungs. The process of taking air into the lungs is called inspiration or inhalation. The process of expelling air from the lungs is called expiration or exhalation. Fifth question, differentiate between osmoconformers and osmoregulators. There are two major types of osmoregulation. Osmoconformers. These organisms try to maintain the osmolality of their body matching with their surroundings. Most of the invertebrates, marine organisms are osmoconformers. Osmoregulators. These organisms maintain their internal osmolality, which can be extremely different from that of the surrounding environment through physiological process. Define metabolism. Answer, Metabolism is the sum of chemical reactions by which living organisms sustain their life. Metabolism consists of anabolism, that is the buildup of substances, and catabolism, the breakdown of substances. Answer briefly. First question, define prokaryotic cell. Answer, organisms in which no true nucleus is seen are called prokaryotic cell. Example, bacteria. Second question, tabulate the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. Aerobic, the end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water. Anaerobic, the end products of anaerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and ethanol or lactic acid. Aerobic, common in all higher plants and animals. Anaerobic, common in certain microorganisms and human muscle cell. Third question, why the human eye is compared with camera? Answer, the human eye can be compared to a camera as both functions by gathering, focusing and transmitting the light through the lens for creating an image of an object. The iris of the eye controls the size of the pupil depending on the amount of light entering it. The pupil is like the eye hole of a camera which allows light to come in. Lens, it is a transparent biconvex and an adjustable part of an eye made up of protein. The lens, with the help of the cornea, refracts light focused on the retina, therefore creating images on it. The retina consists of photoreceptors and converts light rays into impulses to be sent to the brain. It is light sensitive. The retina is compared to the film in a camera. Fourth question, which organ and organ system help to maintain homeostasis? Answer, homeostasis is a property of a human biological system where the self-regulating process tends to maintain the balance of the survival. Behavioral and physiological responses are two important regulatory mechanisms that maintain the stability of homeostasis. All the process of integration and coordination of function are mediated by nervous and hormonal system. The liver, kidneys and brain, autonomic nervous system and the endocrine system help to maintain homeostasis. Answer in detail. First question, draw the views of human eye and label its parts. Second question, explain osmosis with an example. Answer, osmosis is the movement of solvent particles across a semi-permeable membrane from a dilute solution into a concentrated solution. The solvent moves to dilute the concentrated solution and equalize the concentration on both sides of the membrane. The movement of liquids in and out cells is dependent on the concentration of the solution surrounding it. There are three types of situations in which the clouds vary. First one, isotonic. Here, the concentration of external and internal solution of the organism are the same. Hypotonic. Here, the external solution concentration is less compared to the concentration of the inner solution of an organism. In this case, water will rush into the organism. Third one, hypertonic. Here the external solution concentration is greater than the concentration of the inner solution of an organism. In this case, the water will rush out of the organism. Example, red blood cells. When red blood cells are placed in hypertonic solution, water flows out of the cell faster than it comes in. This results in shriveling of RBC. On the other hand, if RBC is hypotonic, more water will flow into the cell than out. This results in swelling of the cell and followed by bursting. If the RBC is placed in an isotonic solutions, the flow of water in and out of the cell will happen at the same rate. Third question, differentiate between inhalation and exhalation. Answer, inhalation. The muscles of the diaphragm contract. The diaphragm goes downward. The ribs move upwards and outwards. The volume of thoracic, that is chest cavity, increases. Air enters the lungs through the nose. Exhalation. The muscles of the diaphragm relax. The diaphragm goes upward. The ribs move downwards. The volume of thoracic, that is chest cavity, decreases. Air goes out of the lungs through the nose. Fourth question, explain about the types of metabolism with an example. Metabolism is the sum of chemical reactions by which living organisms sustain their life. Metabolism consists of anabolism, that is the buildup of substances, and catabolism, the breakdown of substances. Anabolism. Anabolism or constructive metabolism is all about building and storing. It supports the growth of new cells, the maintenance of body tissues, and the storage of energy for use in the future. During anabolism, small molecules are changed into larger, more complex molecules of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. For example, glucose, glycogen, and other sugars, amino acids, enzymes, hormones, and proteins. Catabolism. Catabolism or destructive metabolism is the process that produces the energy required for all activity in the cells. In this process, cells break down large molecules, that is mostly carbohydrates and fats, to release energy. This energy release provides fuel for anabolism, heats the body, and enables the muscles to contract and the body to move. Carbohydrates to glucose, and glucose gives carbon dioxide, water, and heat. Fifth question, explain the mechanism of breathing. Answer, the process of taking air into the lungs is called inspiration or inhalation. During inspiration, the sternum is pushed up and outward and the diaphragm is pulled down. This increases the volume of the thoracic cavity and the pressure decreases. The air outside the body flows into the lungs. Here, exchange of gases takes place between the air and the blood. The process of expelling air from the lungs is called expiration or exhalation. Upon exhalation, the lungs recoil to force the air out of the lungs. The intercostal muscles relax, returning the chest wall to its original position. During exhalation, the diaphragm also relaxes, moving higher into the thoracic cavity. This increases the pressure within the thoracic cavity related to the environment. Air rushes out of the lungs due to the pressure gradient. This movement of air out of the lungs is a passive event. Higher order thinking questions. First question: why do we need instant energy? Does glucose give that energy? Explain. Answer: energy is needed for performing day-to-day activities of the body, which is got through intake of food. This provides energy for all organ systems. Instant energy may be required in cases of extended physical activities like running or physical ailments like tiredness or giddiness. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate. Intake of glucose helps it to solubilize in the blood immediately and is carried to organs of the body, thus helping to provide instant energy. Digestion of carbohydrates also converts it to glucose finally. Question 2: how are they preparing pickles? What are the causes involved in that? Answer: pickles are prepared usually by addition of excess salt. The salty solution creates a high concentration, that is hypertonic, in the external medium of the vegetable or fruit which is used for making pickles. Therefore, water comes out of the vegetable and it undergoes plasmolysis and begins to shrink. Thus, when water content is lost, the pickle is able to retain itself life for a longer period. Value based questions. Question number 1: Dr. Usha is a pulmonologist, that is doctor for respiratory diseases. One day, a school student named Arjun met her with respiratory problems. After diagnosis, the doctor advised him to go to playground daily and play football or basketball. She also advised to do pranayama in the morning. Question number A: why did the doctor advise him to go to the playground? What is the use of pranayama? Answer: first question A. For A, playing is a good physical activity which helps to improve breathing and blood circulation in the body. It also helps to relieve anxiety. Then second one, what is the use of pranayama? Pranayama teaches us the proper way of breathing slowly and deeply. It increases the capacity of the lungs and brings more oxygen into the body. It is especially very useful when one has respiratory problems and the breathing is irregular and unsteady. It improves blood circulation. Second question: explain why are you not able to breathe normally when you are in closed and crowded places? Answer: in a closed and crowded place, the number of people are more. All of them breathe out carbon dioxide. Therefore, the amount of carbon dioxide in the air is much more than the amount of oxygen available for inhalation. Therefore, we find it difficult to breathe in a closed and crowded place. Question number 3. Silas is a school-going kid studying standard 8. He is crazy about playing video games in mobile phones. After a couple of months, his eyes turned red and he felt severe pain in the eyes. His science teacher inquired about this and advised his parents to take him to consult an eye doctor. There are two questions. How does excessive usage of mobile phone affect our eyes? What are the values shown by the teacher? Impact of excessive usage of mobile phones. For first question, How does excessive usage of mobile phone affect our eyes? Cell phone radiation can damage eyes and cause early cataract. It can also lead to cataract in lens apart from affecting retina, cornea, etc. It strains the eye muscles. It also caused temporary problems like dry and itchy eyes, blurry vision, pain in eyes, etc. Second question, what are the values shown by the teacher? The teacher has shown values of empathy, responsibility, and personal care. Thank you.